we share with one another what God has shared with us. Thomas Kelly points to the reason for waiting on God's message to us. In this humanistic age, we suppose humankind is the initiator and God is the responder. But the living Christ within us is the initiator, and we are the responders. God the lover, the accuser, the revealer of light and darkness, presses within us. Behold, I stand at the door and knock. And all our apparent initiative is already a response, a testimonial to God's secret presence and working within us. The basic response of the soul to the light is internal adoration and joy, thanksgiving and worship, self-surrender and listening. Silent worship is the recognition that God is already present in and among us. Silent worship is the practice of surrendering ourselves to God's presence. Our surrender can take the form of sharing what God has shared with us, or remaining in the silence until we feel urged by the Spirit to speak, an urging that may not come every time we gather to worship. In the words of the Britain Yearly Meeting, silent worship and the spoken words are both parts of Quaker ministry. The ministry of silence demands the faithful activity of every member in the meeting. As together we enter into the depths of a living silence, the stillness of God, we find one another in the things that are eternal, upholding and strengthening one another. While we do not, at this particular time, have the opportunity for a full experience of worship in the manner of friends, I invite us now into a brief time of silent worship, a time to remember the eternal things that are in all of us, a time to uphold and strengthen one another. Let us enter the silence for a few moments.
Alawapa, we are going to be sharing some prayers and writings set to music from the writings of Abdul Baha, who was the son of Baha'u'llah, who was the founder of the Baha'i faith. O God, rear this little babe in the bosom of thy love, and give it milk from the breast of thy providence. Cultivate this fresh plant in the rose garden of thy love, and aid it to grow with the showers of thy bounty. Make it a child of the kingdom, and lead it to thy heavenly realm. Thou art the powerful and kind, and thou art the bestower Cultivate this fresh plant in the rose garden of thy love, and aid it to grow with the shadows of thy bounty. Cultivate this fresh plant in the rose garden of thy love, and aid it to grow with the shadows of thy bounty. Cultivate, cultivate, cultivate this fresh plant. Cultivate, cultivate, cultivate this fresh plant. Cultivate this fresh plant in the rose garden of thy love, and aid it to grow through the shadows of thy bounty. Do not be content with showing friendship in words alone. Let your heart burn with loving kindness for all who may cross your path. Let your heart burn with loving kindness for all who may cross your path. Let your heart burn with loving kindness for all who may cross your path. Let your heart burn with loving kindness for all who may cross your path. Let your heart burn with loving kindness for all who may cross your path.
Hi everybody, good evening.
Good evening.
My name is Simarjot Kaur and I'm going to be speaking about Sikhism. The opening section of the Guru Granth Sahib is called the Mool Mantar. Ek Onkar, Satnam, Karta Purakh, Nirpo, Nirvair, Akal Murth, Ajuni Sambhag, Gur Prasad. This means essential teaching. The Mool Mantar was written by Guru Nanak, the first Guru of the Sikhs, and he gives a short description of what God is like. It is considered to be the most important composition in Sikhism. Sikhs believe that the Guru Granth Sahib is word of God, and so it is infallible. The first line of the Mool Mantar is Ek Onkar, which means that there is only one God. This symbolizes the importance of the belief in the oneness of God and the oneness of humanity. Sikhs believe that God is beyond color and form, yet his presence is clearly visible. God is transcendent and genderless and cannot be put into words. God is outside time and space. Sikhs also believe that God is immanent, and so everything in the universe has God's presence in it. He possesses all qualities. He transcends all qualities. The word Mool means main, root, or chief, and Mantar means magic chant. Together, Mool Mantar means main chant, or root verse. The Mool Mantar is said to be the first composition uttered by Guru Nanak upon enlightenment. Beyond the basis of Sikhism, it encapsulates the entire theology of Sikhism. The mantra encompasses concepts which have been evaluated and proven over many eras, known to be flawless beyond any ambiguity whatsoever. The rest of the Japji Sahib that follows this mantra is supposed to be an elaboration of the main mantra, and the rest of the Guru Granth Sahib, totaling 1,430 pages, is a detailed amplification of the Mool Mantar. Now let's go by all the meanings of the words. Ik, there is one reality, the origins and the source of everything. Onkar, when Ik becomes the creative principle, it becomes Onkar. It manifests visible and invisible phenomenon. Satnam, the sustaining principle of Ik is Satnam, the true name. Karta Purakh, Ik Onkar is creator and doer of everything, and the seen and unseen phenomenon. Nirpo, that Ik Onkar is devoid of any fear. Nirvair, that Ik Onkar is devoid of any enmighty. Akal Murth, that Ik Onkar is beyond time and yet it is existing. Ajuni, that Ik Onkar does not condense and come into any birth. All the phenomenon of birth and death are forms of within it. Saibam, that Ik Onkar exists on its own, by its own. It is not caused by anything before or beyond it. Gur Prasad, that Ik Onkar expresses itself through a channel known as Guru, and it is only said by grace and mercy, and that this happens. And finally, I would like to say that there is one universal God. The name is truth, creative being personified, no fear, no hatred, image of undying, beyond birth, self-existent, by Guru's grace. Thank you for having me.
At this time, I'd like to invite Ms. Gail Katz to come forward for the presentation of the World Sabbath Peacemaker Award. I would also like to recognize Gail herself. Come here, Gail. Gail, as many of you in this room know, is the longtime chairperson of World Sabbath. She's a member here at Temple Israel and the 2022 recipient of this very same World Peacemaker Award. Last year's event was held online, so I ask that you all first join me in recognizing Gail for her extraordinary service to World Sabbath. Gail has a legacy of not only service to this event, but to interfaith work throughout Metro Detroit in many, many different capacities, and has tirelessly worked for peace in our community. And when I grow up, I want to be just like Gail. At this time, we will offer the presentation of the Peace Award. Gail?
Thank you very much, Rick. Okay, I now want to honor Raman Singh. Would you please come up here, wherever you are? Okay, we honor someone with our annual World Sabbath Peace Award, and this year it is Raman, and this is what the award looks like. This award is given to someone whose activities have made a big difference here locally in Metro Detroit, bringing people together to break down myths and stereotypes. Raman Singh is the Executive Director of the Interfaith Leadership Council of Metropolitan Detroit, and to shorten that long name, we call it the IFLC. One of Raman's most important jobs is overseeing the Religious Diversity Journeys, the very special program for 7th graders that the IFLC offers to educate the students about different faith traditions by bringing them into different houses of worship, because they study world religions in their social studies classes. Raman arranges visits to various mosques, churches, synagogues, gurdwaras, Hindu temples, etc., so the students can get a close-up view of what these faith traditions are like. Raman is a graduate of Wayne State University with an MS in mechanical engineering. She has long been active with the IFLC and interfaith work. Prior to serving as the executive director, she served as the president of the IFLC. Her involvement with the IFLC has included working on the Education Committee, that's mine, the Committee Building Committee, and co-chairing the Grants Advisory Committee. Raman has worked with various organizations, including Wisdom and the Michigan Roundtable for Diversity and Inclusion. She's also participating in her local Gurdwara and Sikh community, the Gurdwara Sahib Mata Tripta. She serves on the Board of Trustees of the Gurdwara, helps run the youth educational programming, and chairs the Outreach Committee. She has served on the school board for the West Bloomfield School District, currently serves on the West Bloomfield Library Board, is a West Bloomfield Rotary Club president-elect. A lifelong Michigan resident, Raman Singh is married to Haminder Singh, MD, and he's here somewhere, there he is, and is the mother of 2 grown sons. So I proudly give Raman this Peace Award. It means so much to me.
Thank you so much, Gail. I too, when I grow up, want to be like Gail. This award really does mean a lot to me. It's quite a humbling honor, especially coming from a group like this. The World Sabbath Committee, as you know, has been doing this for years, like decades. My children, who are all grown up now, actually remember when they were small participating in the World Sabbath and carrying those peace flags. It's been that long. So they do this work untiringly, unflaggingly, with deep commitment and resolution and love. And they are so committed to the idea of bringing people together, regardless of their faith, regardless of their ethnicity, regardless of what walk of life they come from. They are an inspiration to me. The work that all of these people in this room do, you can just see how much work they do to bring people together. And the idea that people are much more than their labels, and that they have values that they want to share, values of love and compassion and oneness, is really the hope that we can give to ourselves and to future generations. So I really do thank you, Gail and Rick and the rest of the committee. Thank you so much.
At this time, we will offer worship through music in the Jewish tradition from Cantor and Steyer.
I'm going to introduce my song, so I'll still be from here first. So I just want to say good afternoon. It is both an honor and a delight to be here this afternoon to participate in the World Sabbath. The song I chose is called V'Shamru. It comes from our Friday night liturgy. The Jewish people celebrate our Sabbath on Friday nights and Saturday mornings because in our Torah, in the first words of the Bible, first book, it says, Vayhi Erev, Vayhi Boker, Yom Echad. First there was evening, then there was morning, day one. So you will find us on Friday nights and Saturday mornings celebrating our Sabbath. This song, V'Shamru, it was written by a good friend of mine. His name is Dan Nichols. The word shomer in Hebrew means protector or guardian. So the translation would actually say, as Israel has kept the Sabbath, so the Sabbath has kept the children of Israel. It is an everlasting covenant